So you just downloaded DBD, and you need to learn how to play. Chuck E. Cheese got added to the game, which must be why you clicked on this video. Or you just need a refresher while you're waiting to join a lobby. Well, I got you. So let's get right into it, starting with the side that everybody's gonna be playing. Killer. You get 5 of them if you buy the base game, 7 if you're on console. Each killer has different and unique abilities that suit certain gameplay styles. They also have 3 unique perks that can be taught to other killers when prestige. If you're a beginner and only have base game killers, run these 2. Don't run these 2, they're hard. Here's some blood points. Spend them here to get more perks, add-ons, and offerings. Add-ons buff your power in different ways. Some add-ons are good, while others are terrible. Offerings can alter the game in different ways or bring you to certain maps. If I went over which perks from every killer are good, we will be here forever, so I will keep it simple by listing perks you can get in general, as well as from the free killers. These perks let you break things and recover from stuns or missed hits faster. These perks give you information on where the survivors are and where they're hiding. These perks give negative status effects to the survivors. Some perks synergize well with others, but some can be counterproductive to one another. Here are some good starter builds using perks that can be accessible in the base game. Now then, let's load up and go over how to play. This is the map. Survivors will most likely spawn opposite of you. Your objective is to find them and kill them before they can finish gens and open the exit gates. Depending on your killer, you will either be setting up for later chases or you'll start aggressively. Abuse your power and perks. Newer survivors will not know how to loop and are prone to the following mistakes: leaving good loops, looping unsafe pallets, camping pallets, pre-dropping pallets, slow vaulting, hiding in lockers, body blocking, getting caught on corners, dropping god pallets too early, trying to vault a blocked window, and many others. Take advantage of the survivor's mistakes and act on them. Even the smallest mistake on the survivor can be the difference between a healthy or a dying survivor. That said, the same can be said for killers. So just learn the loops, powers, perks, and don't be afraid of failure. Red Stain. Every killer has one and survivors will use it to determine which way you will be going. A successful mind game will always involve your ability to hide it. You can do that by simply moonwalking or looking opposite of the survivor to bait out a double back. Looping is an act in which a survivor and killer are engaged in a chase. You'll see godly loops like this online, but don't worry, you won't have to worry about them in low rank lobbies. However, to get used to looping, here are the important loops to know: the TNL, Jungle Gyms, and Killer Shack, just to name a few. To help you understand these loops, I will show you how to counter these loops as a killer via a diagram. At TNLs, you'll want to loop inside the TNL, double backing at these walls where survivors can't see you. For Jungle Gyms, it's the opposite. Loop on the outside, and don't mind game. Most importantly, make them drop the pallet even if you have to tank the hit. At Killer Shacks, do not double back either in the shack or on the window side, as they will only extend the chase. If a survivor enters the shack and they may reach window, moonwalk here and make them hesitate. Make decisions based on where the survivor is headed and how they play, and force them to drop pallet because of how strong it is. There are smaller loops that can be safe or unsafe for a survivor depending on length, visibility, and relativity to other loops. Safe loops mean that a survivor will almost always win even if you play optimally. Best way to win at these loops is to make a survivor slip up or force them to drop the pallet ASAP. Unsafe loops are the exact opposite. The killer will almost always win even if the survivor plays their cards right. Remember, no matter how good or bad a loop can be, you and the survivor's decisions can make or break a chase. Always know when to drop a chase to patrol gens or go to another survivor. Examples include if a chase is happening in an area with completed gens, if you're chasing at infinites, if you're chasing the same survivor without hitting them for over 40 seconds. Uh-oh, that survivor has a flashlight. They will try to get a flashlight save when you pick up a survivor. Here are 2 easy counters: walls and Lightborn. Contrary to what survivors will tell you, it is 100% okay to run Lightborn even as a beginner. If you're not running Lightborn, facing a wall before picking up will completely prevent a flashlight save. If there is no wall, look around the immediate area and try to weed out the flasher. Pallet saves. When you're picking up a survivor at a pallet, a perfectly timed pallet throw can free a survivor from your grasp. The only counter to this is trying to weed out any nearby survivors and scare them off, or even down them. Another way to prevent a stun save is to get as close to the edge as you can without the pickup prompt disappearing. Pick up, and once you regain control of your character, immediately swing. The lunge can give you the distance needed to prevent the save, but it's not always foolproof. If you're the trapper, you can place a trap on the edge of a pallet, preventing survivors from dropping it on you. If all else fails, survivors may attempt a body block, but this rarely happens in low-level lobbies.
Michaela fucking Moo! Michaela!
But if it does happen to you, Just swing at them and force a health state. There's also sabotaging hooks, but those are hard for new survivors to pull off. Do not worry about those. If you see a survivor saboing a hook, which looks like this, immediately head to the nearest hook or slug the survivor you're holding and chase the saboteur away. These are pretty much all the tips I can give for basic killer gameplay. Specific killer strategies would extend this video much more, but if you'd like to see me cover each killer in this style of video, let me know in the comments and I'll go over the most requested one. Now onto the scariest part of the game. Survivors. There are 4 of them. You get a tool, 2 add-ons, and 4 perks. Leveling up works the same way. Spend blood points, upgrade perks. I'd recommend leveling up these guys first as their teachables are very good, both for chases and for gen rushing. Here are a couple starter builds using easily accessible perks. Important thing to note, exhaustion perks. Very helpful in chase, but give you the exhaustion status effect. Basically, you can't use those perks again until you get rid of it. To get rid of it, walk or stand still. All the starter exhaustion perks are good, and 2 of these are what we call second chance perks. They do exactly what they say. Tip: don't run 2 or more exhaustion perks in the same kit. With our loadouts complete, let's get into a map. Oh. Well, that was quick. Map. Do gens. Don't get hooked. Simple. Here are those loops from earlier, but here's how to run them as Survivor. TNL. Try to loop in an oval like this. If the killer chases in the TNL, loop outside the wall like this. Against good killers, expect a double back on the T and don't commit to the window if you feel the killer is moonwalking. At Shack, you can vault this window up to 3 times before it blocks you off. When that happens, if it's earlier in the game, leave the loop. If you're at 1 or 2 gens or at endgame, drop the pallet and make distance. At jungle gyms, you want to loop clockwise for these kinds. For these kinds with the long wall, loop along the pallet and take the window vault, going in 1 or 2 directions depending on which way the killer goes. Safe and unsafe loops. Same deal as killer. Do not camp pallets. You're better off greeting that same loop for extra time or making distance from the killer. With killers like these, they have the ability to make even safe loops unsafe. Know when they set their traps. If you can, disarm them. If you're mid-chase and you know there's a trap at the loop, immediately go to a different loop. Gens. They're boring, but they're essential to winning. Get on them. Hit skill checks.
Everybody agreed that segregation was the worst thing this country ever did.
Always check surroundings, or else this happens.
Yeah, let's go! I pulled her off!
Different perks and add-ons speed up gen progression. There are 7 gens spread out, but you only need to do 5 to power the gates. Be careful with what gens you pop or else a 3 gen may happen. Against a good killer, they will patrol the fuck out of those gens, making your game much harder to win. Newer killers will be unaware of 3 gens, so if you can, take chase and lead them away while the remaining survivors finish the last gen. Up to 4 people can work on a single gen if allowed, and yes, it's faster, but there's a penalty for each person on it. Negative 15% repair speed on a survivor for each survivor on the gen. This is confusing, but to simplify it, maximize gen efficiency by having only 2 people on a single gen at a time. Alternatively, have 3 people on 3 different gens while another person takes chase. You'll knock out those gens quick if the killer commits to the chase. Unhooking and healing. Do not run these perks. They may sound good, but I promise you they are not and will ruin your games for your team. When unhooking, you want the killer to be away from the hook to minimize risk of getting hit or even a trade. If you know someone else is in chase, feel free to heal at the hook. Multiple people can heal a single person and it is faster. Certain perks will make healing and or unhooking faster or even allow you to see injured survivors. Some killers thrive off healing, so consider when to heal or even if to heal. Some killer perks can punish players for healing though. Some killer perks can also punish players for not healing. Know when to heal and when not to heal to effectively counter them. Saves and second chances. General rule of thumb, don't prioritize saves. There will be a time and a place for a save to happen, but don't force it. If you get the opportunity for a flashlight save, time your flashlight when the killer nods his head right about now. When you see this, aim your flashlight at the killer's eyes and you will hit the save every time. Pallet saves. Wait for the killer to begin moving before throwing the pallet. At the first frame that the killer moves after picking up, throw down the pallet. Sabo. The hardest save to pull off perfectly. With a toolbox, you have to time the sabo when the killer is as close to the hook as possible without hitting you or getting the hook in time. Dead hard. Press your ability button when injured to perform a dab, allowing you to take an extra hit. It's best to do it at unsafe loops so you can use the hit to reach another loop. When you're not in chase, don't forget to mend or you will go down. Techs! They're funny and even effective. They're hard to pull off. Gum tech. Stun the killer with a pallet and vault it immediately after. Window tech. Pretend to run one way after vaulting the window. As a killer vaults it, run or walk into them during the animation and end up on the other side. CJ Tech. Survivor downs on a pallet. Stun the killer with said pallet. Fast vault the pallet right before they break it, forcing the pickup instead. Immediately fast vault again and aim your flashlight once you're on the other side. Once again, extremely difficult but feels so good when done right. These are all the basic saves and second chances that you can abuse. There are other perks that give you a second chance at life, but they are locked behind DLC characters, so I won't be going over them. Now you know the absolute basics on how to play the game. Let me know if you want more guides like these on specific killers or on certain topics within the game. Have fun!